All right, for the seventh player selected and with the 194th overall selection, BU selects defensive end Michael Heldman out of Central Michigan. Now, before I get to the nitty gritty, what are you watching right now? You're watching my, let's just say, version of live drafting for the Titans. This is what I would do. Now, if you want to see my opinion or hear my opinion on the selections that the Titans made, you can go check out that video series that I did before this, thread of videos. I do it annually for the fans, give them some insight on what the Tennessee Titans did after watching 950 plus prospects. I think I have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. And then obviously this video series is more for the people who are interested in what I would have done and keeping up with the players throughout their career moving forward. Now, for the people just now tuning in, I always want to let people know who is the messenger so that, obviously introducing ourselves to each other, but also who is the messenger to where, okay, is it even worth listening to what this guy has to say? I would say and consider myself probably on paper you could say I'm probably more qualified than some of the people in my market to speak on some of this stuff. Um, so here it goes. I mean, Charles Barnes, at BU underscore scouting on most of my social media platforms, have an experience or a prowess in recruiting, been in some recruiting front offices on the collegiate level, have worked at a as a data analyst, certified data analyst, and data collection for PFF. Have graduated GM scouting courses where I'm in contact with former GMs, got scouts numbers, have kept up with my accountability and hit rate for a decade plus, as well as my free agency prowess as well, keeping up with that hit rate. Um, and then obviously in other worldly stuff like in finance and sales and stuff like that. But overall, that's who the messenger is. But let's get down to the selection, right? Pick 194, Michael Heldman, someone that I came late to the party to, but just the athletic profile, the person, really like his skill set. The size 6'4", almost 270, ran a 4.7, bench press 25 plus, 40-inch vertical. Just that alone, that screams at this stage, 194, we're screaming an elite level special teams player. And then obviously his primary position being a bigger end with pass rush ability, one of the better pass rushers in the draft class, analytically. And then obviously the ability to make plays in the backfield, one of the best tackles for loss players in the draft class. Now, obviously there's a level of competition difference there. But when you talk about the athlete that he is, that is like a very toolsy or a ball of clay. Like I talked about Anthony Hill Jr. earlier in my evaluations. By the way, go check out those videos for the Titans in their draft picks. But I think I view Michael Heldman as that same type of edge player with the high floor because of his athleticism, and then already has had good enough production, albeit versus the level of competition that he did go up against. Um, Injury concerns, I see he wore a brace on, I think, his left knee. There's some stuff there, but I really like the player. Really like the upside from a talent at edge. And then I like the upside and the capabilities of him being on teams as well as a special teams player. Just really like he was someone that kept on, like once I started to get, okay, later on in the draft, and I hadn't personally taken an edge player, even though I feel like Sonny Styles can do a little bit on edge and is arguably more effective outside the tackle. I feel like, okay, Michael Heldman, he's good enough to take a flyer on, and that's the player that I ended up selecting at pick 194. Now, stay tuned for who I selected at pick 225.